world of anime in 2022 has been continuing to thrive as we have some truly exceptional shows, such as Spy Family, Komi Can't Communicate, and especially Chainsaw Man. And for me personally, I'm really looking forward to Lupin Zero. I love its art style, and an origin story would be really interesting from the Lupin universe. But I think I found the absolute cream of the crop magnum opus of 2022 anime. And hell, maybe it's just the magnum opus of anime. Who knows? And it's called Bocchi the Rock. Bocchi was a manga released in 2017, adapted into an anime just this year. There's only a few episodes out, but holy damn, this is one of my new favorites. But like, no one's talking about it. So Powers hits this. Makima doesn't have a big enough ass that. I used to be one of those people, but now I'm enlightened. And I feel like it's my civic duty to enlighten you too. The general premise is that you follow high schooler Hitori Gio as she joins a band for the very first time. It's another cute girls do cute things type anime, and if you've known me for long enough, and you've watched this channel recently, you know this is my shit. It really is not anything too special plot-wise. It's this weird combo of Watamote, Komi, and K-On! Hitori is your pretty typical introverted girl with crippling social anxiety, and the other characters are archetypes also. Najika is the typical cutesy blonde girl who unites the entire band together. Ryo is the quiet, cold type who's brutally honest but also this total weirdo. Also, she's an androgynous queen. Stan Ryo. And finally, Ikuyo is the popular girl who's also a lesbian. Pretty typical stuff, but part of what makes the show fun is how they execute stories around these characters and how they manage to work together and pursue their dreams. So far, most of the plots follow that storyline and don't deviate much. Stuff like getting the band together to reunite one of the members, to working at a club. I was rather surprised with how much I learned from the show so far. It's not this super educational show, but still, it's pretty fun learning the ins and outs of making a band alongside the characters. There's like a whole episode about quotas and how holding a concert works. I feel like those who are in the know about band culture would find a lot more to appreciate here. But what really makes the show stand out to me personally is the visuals. So much can be packed in just a minute of this show. The backgrounds are very fitting and just pleasant to look at. The club in which the characters work in has this very underground feel to it and has a really unique vibe to it. And when they're out and about, everything is still very visually pleasing with really nice colors and just generally very nice art. The show can get really creative sometimes though, with sequences that you really have to see to believe. There's one particular sequence in episode 5 that really got to me at one point that was just straight up like live action. It was a very surreal moment that fit the tone of the scene like really well, but it still caught me off guard. It uses a good few different mediums and styles to heighten the impact of certain scenes. It makes the show even more distinct from its competition. Seriously, if nothing else, watch the show for this alone. It's so worth it. In general, the animation is just hella clean and nice. Super cozy vibes all around.
気になりましょう。バンド活動していくならメンバー個人のアカウントあった方がいいと思うし。
The writing also surprised me. Having watched both Komi Can't Communicate and Watamote within the same year, I was expecting more of an extreme with how Bocchi discussed the theme of social anxiety. But no, the show is somewhere in between the optimism and kindness that Komi has and the sort of depressing but also reassuring in its own weird way vibe that Watamote touts. Hitori is the unpopular girl no one really notices, but it also doesn't really revel in that fact, which I could see many vibing with. She gains a group of friends very early on, but that doesn't really mean all is well just yet. She still has to slowly learn to look others in the eye at a job or even work together in her band. Though this show is about the process, which was one of my favorite parts of the show, Watamote. Though Hitori usually gets a little bit better after every episode rather than starting back at step 1 like Tomoko from Watamote. I think it'll be super fun to see how Hitori approaches certain situations as the band gets more serious. The show is super honest, but it doesn't feel so mean-spirited like many could see Watamote as. I genuinely want to see Hitori get better at socializing and to be a better band member. Overall, I think this is the best representation of social anxiety in anime, at least as of recent. The comedy here is also top-notch. Most of it's very visual-based, like the aforementioned moments when the show changes art styles for a bit, but the interactions can also just be super charming to watch. I love how brutally honest Ryo can be, for example, and just how weird she can be. Seriously, this bitch is my favorite character. I love her. It makes for some pretty hilarious moments in my opinion. There's also a weird bit of absurdist humor in there too. There was one joke in particular that had me laughing out loud from how random it was. And for a music-centric show, I should probably mention the music for at least a little bit. I'm not super into the J-rock scene, but hey, I've listened to some Number Girl on my own. Seriously, there's some banger songs that I wish we got to listen to in full. Overall, holy damn, this show fucks. Like, I don't think a simple series like this has really captivated me in this way since I finished Azumanga Daioh sometime back in like July or something. It's a very impressive effort on Cloverworks' part. While on the surface the show is relatively simple and much like its contemporaries, it's just so fun and honest and hilarious and visually packed that I can just tell there's so much heart, not only just in the show, but from the people making it. I implore you to check out this show, especially if you're into those cute girl doing cute things type shows with lesbian undertones maybe. I was like at the 3rd episode and it felt really gay from like the moment that episode started. I don't really know where you can watch it exactly, but you can always do a little tomfoolery if you know what I'm saying. I don't really know how to end this video actually, so